In this video, I'm gonna give you the best tips to throwing from your knees as a catcher. I'm gonna give you the best tips to throwing from a traditional stance and from a knee down stance. So make sure to watch the full video in order to get all of the tips. Before I continue, who am I? My name is Courtney and I coach catchers all around the world. I teach them how to feel super confident using the knee down stance, and I teach them how to feel super confident in every defensive play that they have to make behind the plate as well. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one, go ahead and click the link below to book a call to claim a spot in the program. Now, it's time for me to help you feel confident with your throws to second base from your knees. Like I said, I'm gonna teach you how to throw from a traditional stance to second base and from a glove side knee down stance to second base. The throwing progression can be broken down into 4 different steps: A, B, C, and D. But we're gonna start with A. For A, I want to start with just my knees on the ground and I wanna focus on a high transfer. So I start with the ball right out in front of me and then I transfer it high to 90 degrees, facing my shoulder to second base. I'm focusing on a high transfer and rotating my torso fully. Now, B, I want to get into my traditional stance and I want to focus on my hip turn. So I go from facing the pitcher to facing the first base dugout. If I'm a lefty, I go from facing the pitcher to facing the third base dugout. For the B progression, I want to make sure that my knee is hovered over the ground, because as soon as my knee hits the ground, that's when my momentum stops. So I want to make sure that in this progression, I focus on keeping that knee hovered. Not only that, I also want to focus on a really good hip turn to line up my shoulder and my hip to second base. Now, A and B happen at the same time. So start with the ball right out in front of you and transfer and turn at the same time. Now, progression C. I want to start in B. C is a push from my back leg to drive that front knee forward on a line to second base. I want to make sure that I push as hard as I can off of that back leg and drive that front knee forward as far as I can. I can't emphasize enough that making sure that that knee is on a line is so important. Also for the C progression, I want to make sure that my torso and my shoulders don't open up too soon. If my shoulders open up too soon, that's when I lose a lot of power. So on my push, I want to make sure that the letters of my shirt are facing the same direction the whole time. Now, the D progression, it's a release. So I want to make sure that my hips go from pointing one direction to pointing the other direction, all while focusing on a high release point. When I'm releasing here, I want to focus on scratching out the shortstop's eyes with my 2 fingers. I wish there was a better explanation, but this one helps every single time. When you're practicing this throwing progression, I want you to break it up into load and launch. A and B is load, C and D is launch. So I want you to start from the very beginning. Load, launch. So often catchers rush the throwing progression and the speed of the runner dictates the speed of their throw. I want you to slow your throw down and I want you to make sure that each step comes at the right time. So again, get fully loaded before you launch. Load, launch. Now, the throwing progression from a glove side knee down stance is the exact same, except we start with our knee on the ground. So if our knee is right underneath us, we're on the ball of our glove side foot, our feet are even with each other, and now we're rotating on the balls of our feet to rotate that leg from pointing forward to facing to the side. So it's the same as the progression for the traditional stance, but this time our knee just starts on the ground. I really want to prioritize hip turn on this one as well. I see a lot of catchers start with their right foot out in front of their left foot. When this happens, our shin gets in the way of our knee, so we can't get full rotation. So in order to get full rotation and for our shin to not be in the way of our knee, we need to make sure that the balls of our feet are either in alignment with each other or that our glove side foot is slightly shifted in front of that throwing side foot. If I start at an angle here with my right foot shifted slightly back, I'm able to rotate fully and get my body, my shoulder, and my hip facing towards second base. Same thing here with the load launch progression. Make sure you get fully into your load before you launch. Load, launch, load, launch. Now, when you've done the load launch progression, now you can put it all together. Again, when you're practicing your full throws, make sure every progression comes at its own time. Make sure that the speed of the runner does not dictate the speed of your throw, and make sure that you get fully loaded before you launch. I'm gonna throw one from a traditional stance and then one from a knee down stance. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one in my 3-month online catching program to learn the knee down stance and every defensive skill that you have to make behind the plate as well, go ahead and book a call with me directly using the link below to learn more and claim a spot in the program.